Hey guys, Coach Nick here, back with the 10-0 Mindset, where my goal is to provide you with all of the tools, resources, and support that you need to create happier and healthier gymnastics. I'm so glad that you're here today. In this episode, we're going to explore motivation. If you caught one of our last episodes, we did a top-level overview of mental toughness. To recap, mental toughness is a psychological edge that we get in competitive situations by possessing the 5 key components and 3 key attributes of mental toughness. The 5 key components to mental toughness are having tough values, tough attitudes, tough beliefs, tough emotions, and tough skills. The 3 key attributes are motivation, confidence, and focus. In this episode, we're going to take a deeper dive into the first key attribute, motivation. We'll recap the different types of motivation, and we'll talk about several activities or strategies that you can use to explore and strengthen your motivation. By the end of this episode, my goal is for you to be clear about what your motivation is and how you can help yourself stay motivated. Motivation is characterized by several qualities: an insatiable internal desire to succeed, having a disciplined, goal-driven orientation, being competitive with yourself and others, and owning a determined, go-the-extra-mile work ethic. Think for a moment about what motivates you. What drives you to be a better gymnast? What makes you want to show up at practice and work hard? When it comes to motivation, there are 6 different types of motivations. The first 3 types of motivation are what we call intrinsic motivation, which is motivation that comes from thoughts or feelings that are within ourselves. We can be motivated intrinsically by our desire to know something, by our desire to accomplish something, or by our desire to experience stimulation. On the other hand, extrinsic motivation is when we feel motivated by things that are outside of our body. We might be motivated by external pressures such as monetary rewards or avoiding disapproval from our parents, or we might be motivated by internal pressure, such as the pressure to be the best or to avoid feeling embarrassed. The last motivational state you might find yourself in from time to time is called amotivation. Amotivation refers to when your behavior isn't rewarded intrinsically or extrinsically. You might feel helpless or incompetent, and you can't identify any good reasons for continuing to train. Let's cover some points about motivated, mentally tough athletes. Motivated athletes set long-term and short-term goals that are realistic, measurable, and time-oriented. Motivated athletes track their progress. Motivated athletes compete primarily against themselves. Motivated athletes understand that they're in control of their attitude and take responsibility for their behavior and for preparing themselves to be successful. Motivated athletes pursue excellence and not perfection. Finally, motivated athletes bring a positive attitude to the team environment. Now that we understand what a mentally tough motivation looks like, let's discuss some strategies that you can use to explore and refine your motivation. The first strategy that we're going to talk about is identifying people that we admire. Research shows that people with specific and defined goals are more likely to succeed in life than those without. One way to increase motivation and define goals is to be inspired by your favorite heroes and personalities in sports. This exercise helps you formulate your goals using this approach. So here's what you want to do. Identify a hero or successful athlete whom you admire most and write their name down on a piece of paper. Underneath their name, write down the critical personality attributes that made that person successful or famous. Think about what actions you could take to become as successful as that hero. What patterns of actions, such as positive thinking, help you become more like your hero? What 3 actions could you choose to implement as soon as possible based on what you learned from this exercise? Now that you've thought about it, take a minute and reflect on the attitudes that characterize a good gymnast and the attitudes displayed by other athletes that impress you the most? How would you rate yourself on these characteristics? It's important to be honest with yourself so that you can identify where you're already strong and where you have room to improve. Our next strategy for refining and improving motivation is goal setting. Motivation is best achieved by having clear goals. These goals need to be your own goals for yourself, not someone else's goals for you. Now let's go over some guidelines to maximize the effectiveness of goal setting. Goals provide purpose and a sense of direction, which in turn increases motivation. There are three main types of goals. The first type of goal, process goals, focus on the development of your own skills. Outcome goals focus on the results of a routine or a competition. They're the end result of what you're trying to achieve. Finally, performance goals focus on improvements compared to your own past performance, and this is what we call competing against ourselves. When we set goals, one helpful framework that we can use to remind us of some best practices is called the smartest goal setting system. It's a system that reminds us of what goes into intelligent goal setting. Going down each letter, the S stands for setting short and long-term goals. Set both types of goals, as your short-term goals help you keep motivated towards your long-term goals. The M stands for measurable goals. You need to be able to measure, usually with a number, the differences between where you are right now and where you want to be. The A stands for achievement strategies, which are the things that you're going to do in order to achieve your goals. You might attend every practice, you might stay focused on your training plan, or eat properly, or get enough rest. The R stands for realistic goals. Realistic goals are goals that are truly within your ability. For example, if you train 2 hours each day, a non-realistic goal would be to train 6 hours each day next week. The T stands for time-bound goals. Time-bound goals have a limit for when you want to achieve your goals, such as by the end of the week or the end of the preseason. The E stands for exhibiting goals. Try to place reminders of your goals in places where you can see them. Think places like your mirror in your bedroom or bathroom, or on the refrigerator. The next S stands for seeking support. Ask others whom you trust to help you out in your quest to achieve your goals. You should never feel ashamed or guilty of asking for help. Finally, the last T stands for targeting obstacles. Before beginning on your new goal quest, attempt to list things that may keep you from your goal, so that if these things happen, you can be prepared for them. The third strategy that we're going to talk about has to do with enhancing your commitment. An important facet of motivation is knowing what keeps you going and then committing yourself to it. It gives you inspiration, focuses your energy and effort, and helps sustain you through challenges. There are a few steps to enhancing your commitment. First, you want to identify reasons for participating in gymnastics. Ask yourself, why do I participate in gymnastics? What do I enjoy about gymnastics? Then, identify reasons for persevering through challenges in your gymnastics. A great way to do this is to reframe the first question. Ask yourself, why not quit? Up next, clarify your mission in gymnastics. Ask yourself what you want to accomplish this year. What do you want to get out of your participation? Now, I want you to establish your level of personal commitment. On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to accomplishing the things that you stated above? Start to think about developing your legacy. What do you want to be known for on this team? What do you want to be remembered for when you do leave this team? Thinking about things like this now can help you stay focused on making that future legacy a reality. Finally, put your words into action. Over the past 7 days, how much did your daily behaviors reflect commitment to what you want to accomplish and what you want to be known for? You can use strategies like this, like identifying people you admire, like goal setting, and like getting clear on enhancing your commitment to help you remain motivated throughout your competitive career. Staying motivated is the key to the other two mentally tough attributes that we're going to talk about in 2 soon episodes: confidence and focus. I sincerely hope that this episode helped you get some clarity on your motivation, helped you refresh your journey into becoming more mentally tough. Check back soon as we continue our mental toughness series.